First of all, good morning and welcome to our webinar, which we specifically designed for all startup founders looking to accelerate their business. My name is Christoph. I'm the head of ISPO's startup program, ISPO Brandnew, and our webinar today will feature a successful founder, a best case story from Radina, who's with Default. Welcome, Radina. We'll also feature an AI expert, Markus. Welcome, Markus. And we'll also talk about our cooperation with Globetrotter and how Globetrotter helps startups to accelerate their business. So did you know that 9 of 10 startups fail? And 30% already in the first year. And only 1% of those startups really reach the 10 million revenue mark. So that's why ISPO, in our mission to accelerate the global evolution of sports, founded ISPO Brandnew. So what is ISPO Brandnew and why should you join? We have more than 60,000 participants at our startup event happening at ISPO Munich. You're able to meet more than 500 investors. And if you join the speed dating sessions, you will easily have the possibility to meet more than 20 relevant people. And of course, you also have access to our global ISPO network, which has a significant reach. The last event had a reach of more than 3 billion, and our digital channels, as you can see, more than 7 million. Some startups we successfully accelerated over the years are on this table. Let me pick just a few that really made it to the top, like GoPro, one of our first startups, POC with its innovative helmets on. Probably everybody knows that company that went into a very dense market, but still succeeded, or Crocs or Maloya. So if you would also want to start such a successful story with ISPO Brandnew, then look at how Default and Radina did this job perfectly. Over to you, Radina.
Hello, everybody. So let me just share my presentation as well. Just a second. Okay. So. Okay, so it should be visible now, right? So hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's really cool to see already 40 people. I see people from Beirut, from Germany. So thank you for joining us. I hope that what I'm going to share with you is going to be useful and interesting for you to know. So I structured my presentation in 2 parts. First, I'll briefly introduce what we do at Default, and then also share what was our experience and takeaways from the ISPO participation last year. So to introduce myself, my name is Radina. I'm one of the co-founders at Default. We are 2 co-founders, and we started the company back in 2018. So it's already 5 years because it was not a straightforward journey. Together with my co-founder, Peter, we initially started looking at different applications of our foldable designs. And eventually we decided to focus in the end of 2019 on developing our own brand and developing our own foldable, reusable products. Because we thought, what if you can carry all of your reusable wear in your pocket, because we see all the big brands and all of the newcomers, but basically, if you want to reuse more on a daily basis, you need to make reuse more convenient, so that in different occasions you can always carry something that you can refill. And so the origami bottle was born in 2020. We launched a Kickstarter campaign, which was quite successful. We raised close to $140K for 30 days. We put a lot of efforts in creating this campaign. So I know every step and details when it comes to crowdfunding and Kickstarter. And then there was 2 years of finishing the product, because this was happening during the COVID times, and all kind of complications happened. But eventually, our crowdfunding journey was a success. And in the summer of 2022, we successfully delivered 6,500 bottles to all of our supporters, which were from all around the world. And after that, we launched officially the product to the market. So in the summer of 2022, last year, we won some of the most prestigious awards in design and sustainability. Actually, we won the German Sustainability Award Design in 2022, even before we had the final version of the product. And last year was our first full calendar year that we were distributing and selling the product. So a little bit about the bottle. It's 750 milliliters. It folds like origami. So here the best is to showcase it. So you just press on 3 points, and it becomes very compact. And how it's different from other foldable products, it is our patented design that makes it very rigid and sturdy when it's unfolded. And it is also the material, because most of the foldable bottles, they're made of silicone, whereas we chose a very high-end premium plant-based material, which provides the necessary functionalities when it comes to folding, but also it's very rigid and sturdy and durable. So we want to promise at least 100,000 folds for the bottle. And this product is something that I believe that goes into many different use cases, and it's made for people that are active, on the go, adventurous travelers. So you can easily refill it when you're on your leisure hike, or traveling at the airport, or just commuting in the city. So it's definitely a universal, I would say, product that doesn't go for any specific outdoor activity, but it goes everywhere in between. And what is more important, that we are not just a consumer product company with 1 or 2 products. We are really looking to have a bigger impact and to start, as we say, a reuse, refold revolution. And the origami bottle is just the first step. So we want to really unfold a new era in foldable reuse, and we can apply our foldable designs not only for bottles, but any kind of tubular shaped container. So you can imagine jars, cups, boxes, even larger barrels and kegs. And our bigger vision is really to introduce these foldable concepts also for refillable packaging. Because with the tightening regulations, and we know that the recycling is really not solving the issue when it comes to single-use waste. So we believe that for new milkman models from the past to really become more massively adopted, we need more convenient refillable containers. So this is the bigger vision. It will definitely take us some years to get there, but we believe that we can make an impact there. And with the products that we create, we aim to showcase the best examples of our foldable designs. So in order to do this, we have a very strong IP protection. So we have utility patents, which is the stronger protection that you can get and it covers a wide spectrum of foldable designs that can be applied, as I said, in many different type of products. So we have this patent already granted for Europe, US, Canada, India. And in addition to this, for every new product, we do design patents. So the origami bottle has a design patent for the US and Europe. And with every subsequent product, we expand the portfolio of protection, because especially when we are speaking about entering the packaging industry and partnering, for instance, with big CPG brands, we would need to protect ourselves and license the technology. So here, yes, the different applications and industries that these foldable designs can go. And right now we are in lifestyle reusable products, and the bigger expansion stage is the reusable packaging. This summer, we are launching our second product, the default origami cup, that is already in development, and we are fine-tuning some things. So that's why I'm not fully disclosing how it would look like, but you can definitely follow us on different channels and see how it goes. And hopefully you can also support us on the Kickstarter campaign that we are also aiming to launch perhaps in September. This is a short overview of all of the milestones and things that we've had along the way. From the very beginning. So we started by being accepted in an accelerator program that is part of a bigger network in Europe that supports early stage developments in the climate tech area. So this gave us actually the very initial step to invest in our patents and to start developing the product. And as I already mentioned, after that, we went through a lot of things until we launched the Kickstarter campaign in 2020. And the ISPO Brandnew was the highlight of last year. So I'm using this slide just to go through this part of the presentation. It was really our actually first fair and participation in an event like this. We were super happy to be part of this experience, and I split actually our participation in two parts. So first, we were participating by being part of the brand new village with a stand that we shared also with other startups, and we were under the umbrella of Globetrotter and Matty's team. He will share more about the opportunity that they offer, but it was also one of our biggest achievements last year that we managed to launch our product in Globetrotter stores in Germany, both physically and online, which led us actually to participate also at the ISPO and to have a shared stand with other startups that are part of their iStartup program. And the second part of our ISPO experience was the participation in the ISPO Brandnew Award, which was an experience on its own. So first, about the stand, here is just a map of all the different halles, areas that are in the ISPO. So we were in B1, which is the Future Lab and the Brandnew Village. So I suggest, like, if you're a startup, this is the place that you should be, because everybody wants to see what are the new brands, the new products, and everybody passes through this area. So if you're an emerging new brand, I think it's a good place to be positioned. This is our specific stand. Just the scale is massive. If you haven't been to a fair like this, I looked actually at the statistics, and let me see, because I always forget. But as I saw, like last year, there were close to 3,000 exhibitors. Can you imagine? And then there are close to 100,000 visitors. So a lot of people pass by. My recommendation is to be really prepared for 3 very intensive days, especially the first 2. So to demonstrate your products, to to exchange business cards and or any other contacts that you have with the people that will visit, and just receive the feedback. I think these are the three main areas. So first, people, especially for our product, if it's something physical, it's a really different way of experiencing it in person, your product, and people see how it's different from other products. And you don't know really what type of people will pass by, and the feedback that you receive and the patterns that you start seeing. It's also something that I think it's quite valuable, especially for a startup, since you're still in your early days, you're still improving the product. So you can get, I think, apart from all of the networking and the contacts, you can get a lot of feedback on your product, how it's perceived by people in a very short period of time. So as you know, the more you listen to the people, like the better that you can tailor your offering, and you see what to work on. So these are my recommendations, and to what we gain from the exposure with our stand. And I would suggest that it's good to have at least 2 people on your stand all the time, because just a lot of people are passing by, and if it's possible to have 3, even it's better. Because we were 3 people, and I was also busy with the ISPO Brandnew Award, so 2 people are the minimum for successful presentation and managing all of the people flow that will be happening in these 3 days. And the second part of our ISPO experience was the ISPO Brandnew Award, which I'm super happy that we applied and managed to actually get one of the awards. So here I've structured a little bit about the process. So the first phase is the application. You really have to take the time, 3 to 4 days maybe, to really nail your pitch, to really showcase your product, also define how are you positioned, what are your achievements and traction so far. So if you're already selling your product, I suppose that you have most of the information, but of course it takes time to really structure it and prepare all of the necessary materials that you can attach to it. So take the time and really devote 3 to 5 days to really develop a good application. And I think every year this award will become more and more competitive. So just give the best out of you. And then the second phase is hopefully you get accepted and you become one of the finalists. Last year there were 4 categories and 4 startups were chosen per category, so a total of 16 finalists. So these are the last year's the different categories. We were in the sustainability, and if you're one of the finalists, you go to the pitching event during the fair, which is has a little bit different format. So it's not the typical you pitch 1 minute and you get questions from the jury. It is organized like a boxing match, and it's the format is presented by the Founders Fight Club. I suppose there will be follow-up webinars specifically about the format, but basically you're on a ring with another startup in your category, and you have to give the best out of yourself and also know your opponent. So I've put a little bit more on this specific part. So these were the finalists in our category. We were competing against 8,000 Kicks, which is a Portuguese startup that is developing shoes made of hemp, really cool and innovative. In the first day of the fair, actually, we had to pitch and to also attack our opponent. And we as a small team, we're 3 people, so we really take the time to prepare ourselves. I was researching the other startup. I was listening to podcasts of Bernardo, who is the founder. So I knew to some extent what to expect, but at the same time, you don't know what you're going to expect live. Because, for instance, Bernardo was very provocative. So this is a photo of our finals and the battle that we had with him. So he was rapping on the stage like naked, and he's taken his role pretty literally, being a boxer, Muay Thai. And we were 2 very different personalities on stage. I really didn't know that he would make a performance and have a rhyme song against us, etc. But I gave my best, and eventually we won. And we went to the finals, which was, pretty cool. I think it was really, very emotional, like an exciting experience, this battle with him. After this match, we also were given the ISPO Brandnew Award special recognition by Globetrotter. On the next day, so day 2, we went to the finals, which were taking place on a larger stage. And there we faced the other winner from the other battle in sustainability category, Helixa. So they were a Swiss startup, and unfortunately we lost against them, and they became the overall winner for the ISPO Brandnew Award. I think just the technology that they have is pretty revolutionary and also impressive. We were close to winning, but they were better and the audience voted. So this is something that I missed to say, is that in the end, in the battles that you have, it is the audience that votes with cards, the red and blue cards, and they decide who wins. So this is the format. And to recap my presentations, we took a lot from these 3 days. I think it's definitely worth it to invest the time and the resources to be there, to showcase your work, to get feedback. Really, the exposure that you get is massive. It cannot be really calculated with a formula. You have amazing networking opportunities to find new clients, but also partners, investors. The feedback aspect, as I said, is also, in my opinion, pretty useful and important. And the last thing is, for me personally, it's a learning experience, and you see yourself in a different situation. There is a lot of personal growth involved in these 3 days. And it is part of the learning experience and the situations that you face. So I definitely recommend it. This year actually, we are also planning to join in November. So this is on my side. I like closing up with "Let's unfold the future of reuse," because I think it's something important and something important for every person. And we have to take care of our planet and the future generations. These are my contacts. I'll be happy to be connected with all of you that I cannot see right now. If you have any questions, I don't know whether we are answering now or maybe in the end, I'll be happy to answer. Yes, and I give in now to Matti, I think.
Okay, no, it's actually me.
Marks, okay.
Thank you, Radina. Very good. Let me just quickly, so you should be able to see my screen, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's switch gears a little bit. I'm going to talk about the top 5 AI tools I'm using to really automate the boring stuff and make time for what matters. And I want to start this or set this off by talking, maybe giving you a thought experiment. I think you all know that when you're in your early 20s, everybody keeps on telling you that you should, at least a certain proportion of whatever you're earning, you should put away. Because then if you sort of project yourself into the future, maybe 10, 20, 30 years, eventually you're going to become a millionaire. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't do this. And for me, that was always very abstract. I just somehow couldn't relate to this. And it was too far off, pretty much. And I think this is a really good analogy if we start thinking about productivity, because productivity is exactly the same thing. What is it actually? What does it mean? It's very fluffy. But if you actually take the numbers and think about if you were, as a startup, to work an average of 60 hours per week, which I think is a very realistic time for us, you would actually increase your productivity maybe by 40%, if that's what you want to do. That's a slightly optimistic number, but I think with generative AI tools these days, it's quite realistic that we can increase our productivity somewhere between maybe 20 and 40%. That would mean that actually you would add an extra 24 hours per week without working those hours in terms of output. And if you were to stay at your previous productivity level, that would mean you probably would work 84 hours to get the same level of output. In total, that adds up to an extra 78 days per year. So just think about that for a moment, because I think once you see these numbers, it does become clear that this is essentially half an employee, which kind of makes sense to invest time and think about what kind of tools you might want to use in the future. Okay, so my top 5 go-to AI tools are essentially Perplexity. I'm going to show you briefly how it's going to work. This is mainly if you do, say, pitch for investors. The second one is Midjourney, which I use a lot for presentations. The third one then is, everybody knows it, ChatGPT. There's loads of stuff you can do with it. Then there's one called make.com, which doesn't just automate one single task, but essentially you can automate a whole process of tasks. And there's one little thing I would love to show you, which is very much a beta. Let's see whether it's going to work or not, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I think you'll be quite impressed if you see this tool. This is, if anybody has heard about agents, this is basically agent technology. All right. So let's start maybe with Perplexity. And I'm just going to go online. So for those of you who haven't used Perplexity yet, for me, this is the new Google. It's just a lot better than this. It's kind of ChatGPT on steroids for research and facts and figures. So what do you see here is I've done a quick, I'm doing a pitch to investors in the space of sports tech. What key industry figures can you provide me that help investors to understand the size of the market and the opportunities? If you take this and you see the answer already, then what's really cool about it, it will provide me with the actual resources. So if I click on this 2 or the 5, which we can briefly do, then you can see immediately I've got the right figures. I've got the right article basically, which is highlighting what I'm after. So that is really cool. So that essentially, I'm not using Google anymore, hardly ever, because everything is there. You know, it's a lot more precise in terms of answering my questions. So I highly recommend this tool. You can have it. There's a free version, and of course, there's a pro version. Pro version is, I think, about $20. It's got additional benefits, but I think you can very well start with the free version. Okay, so that's basically Perplexity. Let me move straight to the next tool very quickly. This is Midjourney, which I'm sure quite a few of you would have used already. One of the things, and I'm just going to copy something here. One thing you can do quite easily with Midjourney is create really cool images for any sales pitch, any investor presentation, super quickly. And so the way it works, again, it's relatively simple. It does cost money, though. I think you pay about $8 per month. But if the simple command, and you can see it It's embedded within the Discord platform. But then if I now go imagine, this is the standard kind of, sorry, I have to copy something. That's the standard command that it's being used. And then we'll go here. And you see, in this case, I've got a group of 3 women, 2 guys in their 30s doing sports activities using the latest tech gadgets like smartwatches, blah, blah. What you do have, you have got the options to provide it with a shade of colors. I've entered the hex colors for them. And then essentially you've got this aspect ratio, which you can use to define the format, also how big or what size this image is going to be in. And then essentially what it's going to do now here is it will, sorry, I'm not just here. It will produce these images in the background. People always get confused where they can find them. Essentially, they are going to be here in your inbox. Typically, it gives you, I've done it before, something similar. It gives you 4 different images, and then you can choose which one most resembles whatever kind of output you're after. You see in the background, it's now building whatever I've just given it. And that's basically the main Midjourney experience. Of course, there's a lot more to it, but we don't have the time to go through this in detail. The third tool is ChatGPT. Since a lot of you guys already know how to use it, I think there's not much I need to add. I use it a lot for creative writing, but you can even use it to create lists of potential customers if you want. The nice thing about Midjourney is as long as you know how to prompt, it will also output whatever output you're after. So it could be tables of lead lists, for instance, with websites. All this sort of stuff is in general possible with ChatGPT. Maybe just a quick for everybody. I mean, most people know how to prompt, I think. The kind of prompt engineering structure I like to use is this. You start with the persona. So what kind of role should ChatGPT play? You then specify the objective. What's the goal of your request? And then you can add some weighting. Are there specific aspects? Say, for instance, I'm interested in investors in Israel, and you could specify it here. You could also explain a little bit more details. And then what's really important is to provide the output for it as well. So that's ChatGPT. The next tool that I briefly want to talk about is make.com. Don't know whether you guys know it. What's nice about this is, as you can already see in the screenshot, is that essentially you are able to chain together multiple tasks. It's a little bit more involved, so it's not 100% trivial, but you can do it completely without coding. So it's totally doable. I am trying to see whether it's now going to run. I'll show you a quite, I think, good example. Give me just 1 second. So the example I've used is marketing, essentially. So let's say you want to do lots of content marketing. And for anybody who's in the startup space and is doing this knows how much pain it can be because it's a lot of work. So one thing you could do potentially is you could say, well, I've got a specific article that I found somewhere. And this article, I want to create a summary from. You basically use ChatGPT to create this summary. Actually, I'm just seeing, sorry, I'm switching something that's a better one. So I'm basically maybe show you the actual. There it is. So I'm creating a content calendar in Notion, and you can see up here I've got a TechCrunch article which I used. This is already published. You can see the output that this tool is providing me. You've got a title, you've got a summary, it's got the LinkedIn post that it's created. It's also done a tweet. And it's told me what the best time is in GMT terms. What we're going to try now, and I hope it's going to work on the fly, but basically one of the things we can do is, sorry, let me switch this way, is have it run it and see what it does. I've provided it with an article link, and you can see in the background it's now running. First, it goes to Notion, looks at whether there's any new URLs. Then it goes to OpenAI and essentially does title and summary. Then I write it into a JSON format, and then from there, it's going to have to go back to Notion. So let's see whether it's done anything. And you can see before this was empty. Now it's done. Basically entered the URL, and you can see the kind of the kind of summary it's given me. Now the next thing is then I've got a second scenario which I'm going to show. I think it should be this one. This takes it one step further. Now I've got my Notion table already set up. If I'm happy with it, what I can do in Notion is basically not just have it generated, but actually it's ready for publishing. Sorry, that's in German. And if I now run it, essentially, because I've checked the context, you see it's done something on LinkedIn, and it's even given me feedback on Notion that it worked. And you can see it's published. And if I were to go to my LinkedIn, then I think I don't have to show it to you, but essentially it's published it like it is. Exactly. So that's kind of a really easy way to streamline and automate your marketing activities. The cool thing about Make is that it's got lots of APIs, and you can integrate it. It's a little bit like Zapier if some of you have worked with it, but I think even better and easier to use. So you can streamline a lot of different tasks. So the last bit that I want to show you now is agent technology. This is really cool. An agent essentially is a software, AI software that is capable of doing multiple steps, a little bit like what we've seen with Make.com, but it takes it one step further. As I said, now what I'm showing you now, it is very much a beta, and I can't promise you 100% whether it's going to work, but let's give it a shot. So this is multi-on, and I'm going to show you what my prompt looks like. It's basically a similar use case where I'm telling it, I want the top trending article. So let me do this. And I want it to create a tweet and then basically tweet it on my Twitter account. Just in case I don't have to do it, but I'm just to make it easier for it. I'm gonna open my Twitter account as well. And now, as I said, there's still a lot of improvement in this tool, but it's just amazing what it does. So let's just have it run. It usually takes a little bit time to get running. As I said, it's very much in beta, but really cool. And so you can see already in the background, it sort of understands obviously what I wanted to do, and it's giving me feedback in terms of what it's about to do. So now it's going and selecting different websites because I asked it for the top trending article or whatever. It's searching articles related to NVIDIA to find top trending ones. You see even what kind of websites it's scrolling through, and it's already done now. What it now does, essentially, it will tweet something for me if it works. Let's see. So it's saying, yeah. It's still doing something. Takes a little while. This is a demonstration effect. So as I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now it's doing it. Very good. So it should now create a tweet. There it is, and it's going to post it. Done, and it's in my Twitter account. So that's a really quick run through from my side in terms of the kind of AI tools that I'm using. This one, as I said, is very much a beta. It's not like something that I use every day yet, but I'm keeping very close eyes on the agent technology and how that's going to sort of revolutionize how we can automate our startup businesses. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Matti, who is taking over. Matti, you ready to go?
Yes, thank you very much.
let me just, there you go.
Great. Oh, you have the presentation. So great. Then I just ask you to swap. Yeah, thank you very much, Marcus. Yeah, hi from the north of Sweden, actually. I'm right now skiing up here, typical to my job in the outdoors. Yeah, my name is Matti Heilmann. I'm a business development manager at Globetrotter. And the person maybe don't know Globetrotter, we are, I think European's biggest retailer for outdoor and travel gear. And we are owned by a Swedish company, Phoenix Outdoor AB. And I just saw there's some Scandinavian people listening. So we are more or less also the retail like Naturkompaniet and Friluftsland and some other Patriota in Finland. So and I'm very glad that I can be here and just briefly talk about what we are doing due to startups and supporting startups like Default. And as I said, we are now the biggest retailer for outdoor and on the market since 43 years, roundabout. We started as a little startup ourselves, and so we just thought about going a bit back to the roots and helping startups, but not like an investor, like with just plain with money. But we thought about how could we help, and what are we good in? And I think the best what we can help startups with is the distribution, and of course helping them to enter the market, because we really figured that, and so this is something Christoph said in the beginning. There are so many great ideas and there are so great startups, but they will at some point hit the distribution wall. And we think we can really help the startups there to help them with the first steps to get out into the market, helping them kind of in this big shark tank. And so we started about 3 years ago with this concept. And for us, it's important here. Thank you very much. Here you can see the 9 startups we already have, or we are already working together with. And so the idea is not only to help them enter the market and just publish or present their products, but for us, it's important to just tell the story behind the startups, the person behind this product, and often it's just like a problem solver, for example, and this is something we think it's very interesting, and our customers think this is something to read about, to hear about, and therefore it's of course the product is important and selling the product, but we think the story behind is at least as interesting, and so therefore we are glad if we're selling the products, but it's not the priority one in the first case. And this is like briefly how we work together with the startup. Is as we think, a great opportunity for both sides. So it's really a cooperation on eye level, and it's a lot of fun because of course there's so great products and so great ideas out there. So important ideas, like we now heard from Radina, that there's like, of course, the sustainability is a very, very important part for Globetrotter and for the whole Phoenix group. And this is actually what we are doing. Thank you for the slide. Here you can just scan or type in the address. There you can see how we present the startups online. So of course they will get a blog, but we use all the media we have to present the startup. It's about a media worth of about between 50 and 100,000 euros we are spending to push the idea, to communicate about the startup. So of course we use all online channels. We of course use all our 22 stores. We use newsletters, events, and of course, as we see here on this chart, the ISPO. And this is a great opportunity again for of course the startup, but for the ISPO, and of course for us Globetrotter to have such a use such a synergy to work together to show the outdoor world and all the others out there what we can do good together, how to present startups, to push startups, and we think this is one of the most important things to push innovation. Of course, a very, very important part, as I already mentioned, is sustainability. And I think we did a great good job there all together on the ISPO this year. Last year. And I'm looking forward to do this again. And I think I'm just gonna then hand over now. If there are questions, I'm very glad to answer them. My contact dates you already hopefully have. Otherwise, we can also send them out maybe in the chat. And so thank you very much for your attention. And of course, I'm drinking out of my equal bottle. Cheers.
Thank you, Matti, and hi everyone from almost all over Europe, at least in the world as well. So we have come to the point where we want to tell you concretely what are the advantages of, say, dedicating 1 hour of your precious time as a founder, as a marketer, to follow this webinar. What you can do now, if you're interested, is grab our early bird price offer, because we designed it for all of the webinar participants, which will be valid until the 31st of March. Well, we offered like the price blocked for the price of last year, which is 1990 euros instead of the 2,290 euros. And by so doing, you can also get the chance to compete for the ISPO Brandnew Award, which is another very nice experience, as Radina explained to us. And what is, I guess, the best experience, if not of startup who has been there and been through it. Of course, if pre-selected, you will get the chance of live pitching. And in any case, as a brand new startup, you will be offered the chance to have speeding and matchmaking sessions, and so much more. Concretely, you will have like 4 square meters booth, and you will have like, can you do slides with that?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, you will have like a 4 square meter startup booth, which will be sustainability conform. You will get accelerator passes included. You will be able to print your logo, so like a little bit of branding and so much more. And if you are like curious of having more information about this, please, this is your moment. Write in the chat, or you will also be able to receive the recording of the video and to fix a meeting with me or Chris to go through the details. So it's your time. I hand over to you guys, girls, everyone. Do you have any questions? If so, please let us know in the chat section.
There was one question already during the presentation of Radina. So Radina, you've seen the question. I don't know that your bottles are currently produced in China. What about production in Europe? Is there already a concrete plan for this? Was the question.
Yes, this is our ambition and long-term goal. A specific plan, no, not yet, because it's involved with a lot of resources and investment that we don't have at the moment. We are definitely working in the direction to lower our unit production cost and reflect this also on a lower selling price for the people, for the end clients. Because this is something that we see that is a challenge to get our product more accessible to people. And unfortunately, starting on production in Europe is not easy. Actually, initially, we were looking for 1 year for different factories here in Europe and in Bulgaria, where we are based, but things are super slowly. The investment needed were like crazy, like 4 times the investment that we had to do when our production is in China in terms of tooling and molds. And also, after that, the unit production cost of the product would have been like twice at least than the current that we have, which would make basically the product unsellable. And in the end of 2019, I traveled to China and I visited some recommended factories, and eventually we are working with one of them. And I must say that, of course, there are disadvantages about having your product being produced in China, but we're super happy with the factory we're working with. They're super supportive. I think we would not have had the conditions in terms of inventory and split payments and things like this if we were in Europe starting as like a small player, because here, for a startup, it's not impossible, but at the same time, you have to move fast and make decisions and launch the product. So this was a decision that we made. For the second product, the cup, it will be also produced in China. We believe that it will be easier for the cup to be produced in Europe, but we would need to get significant investment, which I think would happen in the following 3 to 5 years, especially if we get into the packaging space. And it is something on our agenda. It can definitely lower our carbon footprint and make our logistics and supply chain easier. But as I said, it's a trade-off. And it's on our agenda, but not the highest priority right now. There are a lot of things that you want to make, and at the same time, make sure that you're surviving and growing sales and things like this. That's my answer.
Thank you, Radina. There are 2 more questions. First, when does ISPO Brandnew the ISPO Brandnew Award application open? Because the ISPO Brandnew application already is open. The application for participating in the award will open mid or end of April, but everybody who's registered for ISPO Brandnew will automatically receive an email with all the instructions on how to upload the information to be able to participate at the award. So next question, could you advise what options are there for a startup that is new and not quite ready to enter a stand perspective? There are two answers to this question. So of course, even if your product is not ready, but still in a prototype perspective, of course, you could also join ISPO Brandnew, and as Radina also mentioned, test the waters a little bit to see is there a product market fit before you really invest further into your product. So that's one option. If that's not or if that doesn't suit your budget, then you could of course always join ISPO Brandnew and ISPO Munich as a visitor with special startup tickets as well. Just scrolling down to see if there are more questions. ISPO Outdoor and ISPO December are both interesting. I read when joining ISPO Outdoor, cannot join this December. No, that's not the case. You are able to join both of our shows. So Outdoor by ISPO, 3rd to 5th of June. ISPO Munich, 3rd to 5th of December. The only thing that's not possible is if you are participating as a, let's say, normal exhibitor, you cannot go back to the Startup Pro. That's the only restriction. Next question, regarding the Brandnew Awards, what kind of video should be included in the application? So that's something we will specifically explain when you will receive all the information on how to participate. in the ISPO Brandnew Award. I think it doesn't make sense to enter into details right now because that's part of our instruction. Then there is another question, I think, to Radina. Your product will do great in the cycling space. Have you looked into that?
And whether we are open for a co-branding partnership with the cycling brand in the future, maybe. Yeah, we are open for different types of partnerships. We also do co-branding on the bottle, for instance, for corporate clients and startups that recognize the product as really cool as a merchandise, something that they can give to their employees. So we put the logo here on the cap, for instance. Here I have mine. And overall, for cycling, I think it is a good fit, especially depends on what type of cycling. If it's like long journeys, for sure, you can easily have a bottle like ours that you can refill in different spots. It should be tested because I don't know. I'm more like a mountain biker, so. I don't know the specific persona of a cyclist, but definitely you can reach out to me and we can speak about this. We are always curious for new opportunities and seeing how we can adapt the product. And if there is a value added for this type of audience, why not?
Thank you, Radina. Then let me jump to the last question. If my product has already been put up on YouTube, etc., does it still qualify as a new product? Of course. So the criteria we have is more, let's say, startup related. So your company does not need to be older than 10 years or must be younger than 10 years. And there's further criteria you will find on our website, like the size of your company, etc. But it, of course, doesn't matter if you already promoted your product on the different channels. So if there are no more questions, we are right in time. Thank you very much. Of course, you can always reach out to all of us if you have any questions, either to Radina, to Juicy or me, or also to Marcus and Matti, of course. Just let us know. Other than that, thank you very much. Have a successful day and week, and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.